And we have Congresswoman Colleen Hanabusa live from the Capitol with more. Good morning, Colleen.
Good morning, Jill. How are you?
I'm doing great. Well, this is big news for the Obama administration, and I guess pretty much it falls along party lines as far as reaction to this ruling.
Yes, I believe it does. But what I would like to say is that, when I was looking at this issue when it was still being argued before the Supreme Court, I was banking on the fact that Chief Justice Roberts will go along with the more liberal members of the court.
And so you're not really surprised at the ruling?
I think it's always nice to know that the ruling came down the way it did, but I had expected the Chief Justice to do that because, as you know, we in Hawaii have a special relationship with him in that he argued Rice versus Cayetano on behalf of the state of Hawaii. And for those of us who are watching that case, I think we got to understand a lot about what he was about. And I thought that he would have a very strong respect for the separation of three branches of government. And when you read part of his decision, I'm still plowing through it now, what you hear throughout what he wrote is that, it's not the judiciary's place to make things that the Congress does unconstitutional. That if you can find a way that it is constitutional, that's where you have to go. And I think that's what you found, because originally they said the individual mandate was an issue with interstate commerce, and he ended up with the alternative argument that the government posed was, if it isn't, then it's a tax. And he said it's a tax, therefore it's within Congress's jurisdiction to have, in fact, imposed individual mandate.
Well, we're probably here in Hawaii not going to see a big major change as far as health care reform for us.
You're absolutely correct. And the reason why is because within the Affordable Care Act, there is a section called 1560, which is an exemption for Hawaii's prepaid. And, we in Hawaii have been very fortunate. We've had that law since about 1974. And that's what I ask the people to recognize, is that as we look at the Affordable Care Act, it's, all of 2 years old, not even that maybe. And so when we look at that, and you look at our history since 1974, think about, basically 40 years on our part almost, of developing our prepaid health. So we're not going to be affected because we are an exemption, and they're letting us, we would have survived with our prepaid health irrespective of this decision. But where we are affected is the fact that we have all young people in the age up to the age of 26, and it's about 6,000 that are benefiting from that provision. And we all know our seniors, by the year 2020, will have a closure of that donut hole. But until then, they're receiving benefits of they're basically like a rebate that the government's giving them, and it's been about $14.5 million that they've saved, and this is, of course, on their prescription drugs. And so when you look at that in the context of what Hawaii has, and our small businesses, they're getting, in essence, a tax credit for the payment of coverage for their employees. So we do benefit. There's no doubt about it. But had it not gone so well, Hawaii still has its prepaid health.
All right. Colleen Hanabusa, Congresswoman Colleen Hanabusa, thank you so much for taking the time and speaking with us this morning on this pretty monumental decision.
Thank you, Jill.